For centuries, the craftsmen at the royal court of the Kingdom of Benin, in what is now present-day Nigeria, perfected the art of bronze casting. Dating back to the 15th century CE, these objects consisted of intricate bronze sculptures, plaques, and masks. The objects served as a material embodiment of Benin's social, spiritual, and political order. Today, while they remain marvels of human creativity, their displacement tells a darker story of colonial violence and the legacy of the empire. The most famous among these are the rectangular cast brass relief plaques that adorned the hardwood pillars of the royal palace and depicted the ceremonial and political history of the kingdom. Equally important are the mask-shaped hip pendants of the Oba or the king, which were worn in the honor of his mother. Among the most iconic of the art are also the commemorative heads. Crafted through the lost wax technique, these objects adorned ancestral altars and physically embodied the presence of royal ancestors. From the 18th century CE, carved ivory tusks were made to be placed in the hollow tips of the heads as the form of record keeping. The heads and ivories were arranged on 35 royal ancestral shrines, one for each of the unbroken line of the Obas that began with Iware I, who reigned from 1440 CE. The year of 1897 saw the British forces launching a punitive expedition against the Benin city. A retaliation for an earlier confrontation, this military operation resulted in the sacking of the city and the destruction of its royal palace. The British looted over 10,000 objects, including sacred bronzes, ivories, and ceremonial items. These were transported to Britain and auctioned off to finance the expedition. Over time, they found their way into major institutions such as the British Museum, the Pitt Rivers Museum in Oxford, as well as private collections. The display of these artifacts in Western museums is not a neutral act. Museum labels often emphasize the events of 1897, framing the looting as a justifiable act of diplomacy or even a contribution to global heritage. The narrative of the empire is sanitized, and the objects are stripped of their violent histories. The continued possession of the Benin Bronzes by Western museums has become a focal point in the broader movement for decolonization. Thus, an acknowledgement of the erasure and misinterpretation of the Benin heritage is a step forward in challenging the colonial structures.